So yesterday, I went to go see the new Daredevil vs. Punisher movie. I mean, the Accountant 2 movie. And I gotta tell you, I had a pretty good time. The Accountant 2. Ooh, let's talk about this one. Okay, so just to give you a little bit, I still haven't seen the first one. I didn't even know that these movies had existed originally until, honestly, the CinemaCon trailer that we got a few weeks ago. And when I did watch that trailer for the second one, you know, I was really interested. I really like action movies. I like the beat 'em up, shoot 'em down type of action movies, especially, you know, in vein of a lot of the action 80s movies that were thriving back in the day. And when I saw this trailer, I was really excited to see it, which is kind of weird because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a huge Ben Affleck fan, which in all honesty kind of changed after watching this movie. And I had such a good time with this. I mentioned in my last video talking about Thunderbolts that I decided to go out. Me and my lady got a double feature basically at the theaters, and we watched this and then we watched Thunderbolts, and it was kind of 2 dubs in a day, and I'm really appreciative of that. With The Accountant, we have these 2 brothers who are in this criminal lifestyle of kind of being hitmen. We have Ben Affleck's character Chris, who was a friend or an acquaintance of J.K. Simmons' character, who was killed in this big conspiracy, right, going on. Throughout this movie, we follow these 2 brothers who are looking to figure out who did it, why they did it, and essentially save the day. Now, honestly, that is kind of a butchered synopsis, but that kind of is the premise of the movie. These 2 guys who are just badass beat 'em ups go around beating up a whole bunch of people in the most badass action style ever. And off the bat, I think one of my favorite aspects of this movie was Ben Affleck. The character that he plays, Chris, is so different than what I imagined Ben Affleck doing in a movie. He is playing somebody who has a mental condition, seemingly some kind of autism in there. And honestly, the way that he plays this character is so convincing. Like I said, I'm not a huge Ben Affleck fan, but after this movie and after seeing his capabilities as an actor in this movie, I can't really tell you why I have never really been much of a fan of Ben Affleck. The Daredevil movie is kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I grew up watching that, even though I know that it's not by far the greatest movie ever. I wasn't a huge fan of him as the Batman, but when you look at roles that he has had, like in Armageddon, he is definitely a high-tier caliber actor, and the way that he plays this character here in The Accountant 2 was so believable, and he did such a good job at the execution of this character. It was amazing. And his dynamic with his brother Brax, played by Jon Bernthal, was some of the most enjoyable moments of this movie. They're joking back and forth. Jon Bernthal is a younger brother to Chris, Ben Affleck's character, and the dynamic of these brothers is just so wild and so much fun with the joking, the arguing back and forth, the really heartfelt moments that they have between each other. The dialogue between them is done really well. Their chemistry was really good. This was just honestly a very enjoyable movie with honestly a lot of serious topics that were put into it as well. This idea of there being child traffickers, but also separate subplot of other children with mental health conditions being put in these positions to really help and do a greater good. It honestly was, if I dare to say, some powerful topics. This is a movie that I was not really expecting to be so high up on. I wasn't expecting not to like it, but I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. This definitely made me want to go and watch the first one. I am definitely going to watch the first one. I feel terrible that I've never seen it, but I think that if you are somebody who is looking for a nice comedy action with some badass action, I might add, I think that this might be a good movie for you to check out. There is a main story of this couple who lost their child to these traffickers, and that's kind of the what starts off everything. And now the 2 brothers are trying to find this child, find this couple, and it leads them into this crazy chase with a whole bunch of different people who are involved in this trafficking ring. And throughout that process, we get a lot of twists. Well, we get a big twist, which was crazy. I didn't see coming. We get a lot of action that was just done really well. The choreography was great. The camera shots of a lot of these shoot 'em up scenes was done really well, with a lot of intensity brought into this movie. A lot of emotion was even brought into this movie, more so done through Jon Bernthal's character, because with Ben Affleck's character and his mental health condition, he doesn't really portray a lot of emotion. He's very straightforward, very blunt, doesn't really show off a lot of emotion. But a lot of the emotion that you do get in this film is through Jon Bernthal, who delivers the emotional scenes so well. And I like that this character does feel somewhat similar to his previous characters, this kind of badass beat 'em up type of guy, but Jon Bernthal plays it in such a more lighthearted way, not really making his voice all raspy, talking very normal, a lot more jokeful than Shane or Frank Castle, very happy in a lot of moments, but still gets down to business when the occasion calls for it. And I think that the emotion being let out through his character was a magnificent choice, and it worked extremely well. This is a movie that I would recommend if you just wanted to have a good time at the theaters. I know that Good times at the theaters are kind of scarce right now. Doesn't really happen all the time, but this is one I think that'll give you a bit of those feel good feelings, especially if you're somebody who is into action style movies. And like I mentioned, I brought my fiance with me to go watch this movie, who is not at all into action type of films, and even she walked away really liking the film. But that is kind of what I wanted to say about The Accountant 2. I know this is kind of a week out. The movie's been out for about a week now, but I also saw not a lot of people talking about it. And so I kind of wanted to throw in my 2 cents about it because this was a good movie. I had a good time. And then watching Thunderbolts after, it was just a really good day. So if you've been on the fence or you're not sure if you want to go see The Accountant 2, but you do like these type of movies, I think it'll be worth it for you to go see in theaters. And that's all I really got for you on The Accountant 2. If you stayed until the end of this video, I appreciate you, and make sure you hit that like button so we can flesh this video out a bit. Also, consider subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss any future videos that come out, and stay updated. But as always, man, I appreciate you guys. I'm getting out of here. Y'all have a good day. Be smooth and stay geeked up.